Hey guys, what is going on? So, I was going to post a review video for Battlefront. I've been playing it quite a lot. About 35 hours into it, so not way too much time, but I figured might as well not do a raging review because there are just so many. That being said, I still do think it's a great game. I think it's almost being underrated in a way. I feel like there's a lot of people hating on it, but there are a lot of fixes that need to be made, so I'm gonna go over them. I stumbled across a video by LevelCapGaming, top 10 fixes for Star Wars Battlefront, and then I took like maybe 2 or 3 of those ideas, and then but in his comments, a person by the name of SpartanB0292 made his own list. And he made a great list, so I'm going to put that into this video. And then I also added about 6 more fixes that I will explain, that kind of more personal, that I think that would make the game much more engaging and a lot more fun to play, because I don't know, just playing this game over and over, it gets a little kind of boring. But yeah, and also of course to balance the game out, because there are so many things that make this game all over the place at the moment. Alright, so here we go. Number 1 on his list. Actually, I'll say number 1 on the list for the video because I don't want to confuse you guys. Alright, so here's what he said. Every time someone gets a kill with a homing missile, he must stick his controller or keyboard up his ass. Or alternatively, you can just nerf it, but where's the fun in that? Now, this is before the recent update when he made this, so luckily they fixed that. They got rid of it for Boba Fett, and they updated the time it takes to lock on, so it's much more difficult to do now. Like, it's more useful on bigger maps and less useful now on smaller maps, so I think they patched that pretty well. So, yeah, here goes number 1 on the video, because that was already fixed. You can't have a thermal detonator and an impact at the same time. How did this get through the beta? Oh yeah, that's right, it's a beta. I agree with this so much. I think this was actually in the LevelCapGaming video. We explained, you should not be able to have 2 grenades at once, because as you guys all know, grenade spam is ridiculous in this game. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave that there. I just think that's how it should be. Maybe, just maybe, if they made the reload time slower, that would help. But I don't know. It just shouldn't be able to have 2 grenades like that. And oh yeah, also mentioned in the video that LevelCapGaming made, you can set the time to once the grenade makes contact with the ground, maybe it detonates a little bit slower. So that way, we have time to actually get away from the grenade rather than just blowing up. Having 0 you can do about it. Alright, next one. Dropzone should slow down to capture speed, the spawns, everything. If the other team gets the first 2 pods, you are done for. I wish there was a Mercy 1 mechanic too, so when the other team has 3 pods, when you have like 1, and there's a minute left, we really should just end the game there. Yeah, I agree with them. Haven't really been playing Dropzone. I more so prefer Droid Run, although not that many people play Droid Run. I think more people play Dropzone. So yeah, those would be some great fixes. And then this next one, spawns are better, but still not that good. I agree with that. All the time I'll spawn behind people, or people will spawn behind me. Typically, that kind of happens when everyone's kind of a little more spread across the map, and then it's almost like the system doesn't know where to spawn you. So it'll just like put you wherever. And it's kind of ridiculous, and a lot of times you get spawned at open places and you just die just right away. It'll be convenient if they mostly chose places where you're undercover, because there are in this newer Battlefront, there's many more places to kind of hide behind and get covered than there are in the previous ones. So I think they should base spawning a little bit on that. I think that would help. Next one, I'm a little iffy on this. I think that I'll make my kind of own changes. But he said heroes need a nerf and a buff. There should be an overall time limit to how long you can use a hero. You can still be killed after the time runs out. If you manage to survive at the end, it won't count as a death and you get points. Also, you get points for how long you live. Now, they kind of had this set up in the beta. I didn't really like it, but maybe it's just because the timer actually took a life on the hero, so maybe this would actually work out better. I think maybe like 5 minutes would be a good time. Like, yeah, that's so long, but at least Boba Fett wouldn't be surviving the whole game. And that 5 minutes, maybe if it was less, like 4 or 3, it would kind of force you to kind of rush as a hero if you still have health left. Unless, of course, you didn't want to die, but I mean, who cares as long as you pick up a couple kills and get to get some kills as a hero or villain. I mean, it's a lot of fun. And there will always be an icon over the head showing where you are, so you camp with Boba the entire match. Now, I agree with that 100%, although I do not think that should be in Hero Hunt, and it should not be in Heroes vs. Villains. But yeah, there should definitely be an indicator. That would be very useful. For the buff, the block abilities for the Emperor, Vader, and Luke should be way longer, say twice. Now, I already think they're pretty good. I get so many kills just blocking with both Vader and Luke, but the Emperor's should be a little longer just for the fact that he can't deflect bullets or lasers, whatever. Next one, blaster cannon pickup should be less useless. A bigger angle to turn should be nice. I agree with that so much. I get a blaster cannon and I'll basically just set it down right away because there's not many spots where you can even use it unless you get it at the most perfect spot, and there's always people coming from there because I think the turning radius on it is 180 degrees or maybe even less than that, which is just, I don't know, it kind of sucks because just people come behind you all the time and it's just, I don't know, you can't even turn up or down on the turret that much, it just blows. And like not that many people use it, so it'll definitely be way more useful of a pickup if you had a bigger turning radius. And that includes mostly right and left, but just up down vertically would be nice too. The venting your overheat mechanic should be different for all guns. Like the higher rate of fire guns, the yellow bits where you have to press reload should be further down the semicircle than low rate of fire guns. Now typically, you guys can probably see it in my gameplay, I don't even really overheat my gun that often, and when I do, I don't really know what I'm doing because I just never ever do it. I find it more useful if you just don't overheat your gun at all. That's me personally though. But as far as the higher rate of fire guns to the lower rate of fire guns, I only use the E11 basically, and I'll use a couple other guns you'll see in the video, but I haven't really noticed the differences, so I have no say on that. I'll just leave that in here. There better be an update where the heroes are wearing proper clothes for the right locations. Now they already fixed that for Han Solo and Luke. I mean, God, it didn't really fit the levels at all. So I mean, they already did that, so sweet. So the next thing that needs fixed, because technically 2 of these were already fixed, is flying just throw everything you have in copy Battlefront 2's. Now I don't know how hard this would be to actually throw in an update, kind of recreate it. Maybe if they added a game type to where, I think what he meant is you actually get in a vehicle and start in it rather than like finding a token or getting randomly awarded a vehicle to fly. And that would be much more convenient. I think it makes it feel more like Star Wars, like the fact you have to get to a vehicle and then get to fly off out of the station. There's just such a cool feeling to it. In Battlefront 2, like, there's so much of it that just felt like you were in the world of Star Wars. And the fact that you kind of just pick it up in a token, in a way it kind of throws away that feeling to me. So that would be a nice fix. Number 10, well, on his list. Number 8 for the video, I believe. Infantry turrets and probe droids should always show up on the HUD. This is my own preference. Yeah, on indoor, they'll be hiding behind bushes. Some of them just put them in great spots where you don't expect them. And they are very strong and do hold quite an amount of health. So I think them being on the HUD would be quite useful to us players being killed by them. I mean, that being said, typically you won't pick up that many kills with them. But, I don't know. I think they should be on there personally, but I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you guys would like that. I don't know. I don't feel like they're overpowered, but in a way they are, and this would kind of help. Alright. Next one. A lot of people have been complaining about this. The DL44 should be nerfed. I think they should make the rate of fire just a bit slower. Not a lot slower, just a tad bit slower. Because I usually typically win my 1v1 in this game unless I miss some shots. I'll land every shot with the E11 and the DL44, and by the time I even die, he still has like, they'll have like 30 health left unless they miss the shot, and then of course I'll usually win or we'll kill each other. But it pretty much overpowers every gun on any mid-range or any small map. And like, yeah, it's a DL44, it should be strong, but I mean, just slow down the rate of fire just a tad bit, because I think still fires pretty fast. And my next one, it's kind of a buff and a nerf combined together, is a pulse rifle nerf. Now, I use this gun all the time. It is so easy to use. And I said maybe slow down the card time, maybe. It is typically pretty long. But what would be better to do is make it a smaller impact, because you can just barely nick someone with the pulse rifle, and you're pretty much guaranteed a kill. I'll rarely hit someone and not get the kill. And also I was thinking maybe make the circle a tiny bit smaller on the gun, you know, for your crosshair. Because even close range I can land shots so easily, and almost anyone can. And it should be a little bit harder to use, I think. I think it should take some more skill. And then, our next suggestion as part of this same thing is buff the shit out of the cycler rifle. I mean, in the beta, yeah, this gun was OP. It shot so fast. Precise aim, like, to the max. But, now you shoot this gun across the map, by the time it's halfway to whoever you're shooting at, it's gonna hit the ground. And if you do manage to get that bullet high enough, you have to shoot like 10 feet in front of someone if they're running just to make contact with them. It is ridiculously slow. I mean, it's just horrible weapon. It's not even like a sniper, and even mid-range it still sucks now. So that's a huge fix that I think should be in the game. No, they shouldn't make it as powerful and precise as it was in the beta, but I do think it should be buffed, because no one uses it anymore. I mean, when's the last time you got killed by a cycler rifle? Like, never. And when's the last time you used it? Never. At least from what I have experienced. My next one is add more maps. Yeah, they're adding some more maps in free DLC. Sorry, but I think whatever they're planning on adding, that maybe they should add a few more, because if you look old Battlefront 2 game, there's so many maps to choose from, and then now we're just stuck with a few maps. Some game types only have like 1 or 2 to even play on, and frankly it gets kind of boring playing the same map over and over. And I feel like for $60 you should get quite a few more maps. Hopefully they add at least 3 more for free DLC before they come out, or you have to pay for it. Alright. Now, my next suggestion, fix, whatever you want to call it, is darker colors for Empire on indoor. Maybe add dirt to their skin so their armor is a tad bit darker, or brighten the map. Now, maybe it's a little harder like maybe it's a little easier said than done. Maybe they can come up with like a filter or something, almost like a in Forge for Halo, or maybe it's an easy fix. And yeah, this was technically, you know, in the movies, or the rebels would blend in, and then all the clone troopers, the Empire, there's so many of them that the rebels had to blend in to take them out. But now we're not in the same circumstances in the movie. Now we're on where the teams have equal numbers. So, you know, it's 8 versus 8 or 10 versus 10 or whatever, so it should definitely be fixed, because now the Empire is put to a huge disadvantage. So I think dark colors on the Empire, like just dirt on their skin or something, so it's not just a bright white like magnet sticking out in the middle of the map. Definitely make this a lot better. The next suggestion is add the rollability. You can do this in all the other Battlefronts. I believe you can do it in the first one. I know you can in the second one. And you can even do this, I don't know if you guys knew this, as San Holo and Princess Leia. You can roll to the side. You can't roll to the front, or to the back, but I mean, I think it would be easy to add, and maybe this would even cause or solve like some of the problems with the grenades that we already have, because now we would have an opportune chance to get away from the grenades, you know, rather than just getting blown up without having like zero chance. But yeah, I do think that would make it feel a lot more like the original Battlefront, because what you want when you have a game remade is to have a lot of similarities from the old game, and this game feels a bit different, sorry. But, you know, with the flying, like Spartan suggested, and being able to roll, it would make the game feel a lot more like the previous Battlefront games. And my next suggestion is add more heroes, and this includes villains as well, because you only get 3 heroes, 3 villains. It almost gets a little boring playing as all of them and like heroes versus villains in Hero Hunt, so it would be pretty cool to be able to play as more people. Now they are adding them. I don't quite know if they're adding it in free DLC, but I know they are adding it in DLC. But I would like to have at least one more hero or villain just in the free DLC. Like, please. Please. Hopefully they can do that. And the next suggestion is add Conquest as a game type. Like, I'm not saying you have to add AIs in playable mode. Like, maybe Conquest would work without AIs. Or maybe it feels, you know, bigger teams, 20 versus 20. Would be able to do this, because what this requires in a game is that every single part of the map has to be occupied in order to get all the command posts. And what I've found in a lot of the game types, such as Droid Run or Dropzone, is that typically everything on the map will take place either on these 3 droids or on the Dropzone. But what command post or Conquest, offers is the fact that there's all these spawns across the map and you're constantly trying to get them, so this requires you to use all parts of the map. So this will kind of prevent camping. It'll just make the gameplay so much more smooth. This worked so well in the previous Battlefronts. And then even adding AIs, it would add such a Star Wars feel, because you'd get the amount of people that you need to feel just that huge warfare. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video. I know these aren't all purely my ideas. I did try to credit the people that came up with them. Let me know if you agreed or disagreed with anything. Hopefully, maybe share the videos or these ideas across the internet, across social media, anywhere where DICE can possibly hear it, because these would be great fixes and would make this game well worth the $60. And thank you guys for watching. Until then, I'll see you later.